Good evening and welcome to the musical introduction of the Johns Hopkins Alumni Association Awards video. I'm Robert Hitz, Peabody representative to the Alumni Council, and I composed this celebratory piece, True Blue. Enjoy the music and the photos of the Peabody Conservatory through the years.
Welcome to the second virtual Johns Hopkins Alumni Association Alumni Awards Recognition Celebration. I'm Susan Demuth, Associate Vice President for Alumni Engagement and Annual Giving, and Executive Director of the Johns Hopkins Alumni Association. I hope you enjoyed the music written and performed by our own council member and Peabody graduate, Robert Hitz. 2021 has been such a bit of a roller coaster ride, complete with the big up and down, adrenaline racing, and maybe even some panic. But one positive aspect is this opportunity to recognize outstanding Johns Hopkins alumni. We're thrilled to celebrate some of our shining stars and to capture them here in this program. The extraordinary contributions of Hopkins alumni make us all proud. I would like to thank the Johns Hopkins Alumni Association Awards and Nominations Committee for their hard work, especially the 2021 leaders Brian Frusci and Ralph Rubon, who, with their committee, received and reviewed 87 nominations. The committee's process is a thoughtful and thorough one. They devote consideration and attention to each nomination and set a high standard as they review accomplishments, diversity, and loyalty to the university. Of this year's pool, the council approved 51 members of the Hopkins community across 6 categories. You can read about them in detail in the program for this event and on the Alumni Association website, where each award winner has a description about his or her accomplishments. Our program will have a special presenter for each award category and musical interludes. I'm excited to share that the presenters include some past awardees and current members of the Alumni Council. Now let's get started. Please welcome Lou Bartolo, a graduate of the School of Nursing, who will introduce the 5 Community Champion awardees. Lou is a 2020 recipient of the Outstanding Recent Graduate Award and oversees the awards process on the Alumni Council.
Thank you, Susan. It is my pleasure to present the Community Champion awardees. This award recognizes outstanding contributions that address critical social, economic, and environmental needs throughout society and communities, including local communities. Both individuals and groups are eligible to receive this award. The nominees may be either Johns Hopkins alumni who have impacted any community or non-alumni who have impacted a Johns Hopkins institution. This year, the Johns Hopkins Alumni Association awarded 5 Community Champion Awards. Lee Bone is responsible for the success of hundreds of community initiatives, including sponsored projects, research, and service-based care, all aimed at including community voices and reducing health disparities. Having worked with East Baltimore churches, Baltimore City Schools, the Health Department, Baltimore Connect, and state and professional agencies, she currently instructs in the undergraduate Public Health Studies program and graduate courses in patient and community engagement and health and homelessness. Peter Canham serves as the principal of the Elmer A. Henderson Johns Hopkins Partnership School, also known as Henderson Hopkins. He was executive director of Teach for America Baltimore, the executive director of New Leaders for New Schools Maryland, and in 2010, he co-founded the education nonprofit America Achieves, which partners with organizations to create clear pathways for economic advancement and civic engagement. Catherine Phillips is a nurse practitioner, medical director, and leads a team of 13 at the Esperanza Center Health Clinic, which offers free primary care to undocumented immigrants in the greater Baltimore area. In March 2020, she helped the center to create a bilingual COVID-19 hotline to link immigrant patients to SARS-CoV-2 testing. After the vaccine launched, the hotline was instrumental in helping to vaccinate over 4,000 people. Libby Rice is the head of the Executive Leadership Council's Communication, Marketing, Branding, Government Relations, and External Affairs initiatives. She has been instrumental in implementing their mission, advocating for Black leadership in business and communities by increasing the number of Black executives in corporate C-suite, CEO, and board director roles, while developing the pipeline of the next generation of future Black executives. Sarah Zanton, recently appointed the 5th Dean of the Johns Hopkins School of Nursing. Dr. Zanton is the Patricia M. Davison Health Equity and Social Justice Endowed Professor and Director of the Center for Innovative Care in Aging. During her career, she has worked to address critical social, economic, environmental, and health needs throughout communities. Her program, Capable, combines handyman services with nursing and occupational therapy to improve mobility, reduce disability, and decrease healthcare costs.
Listen, the pandemic was really hard on many of us. And I just feel so grateful that I was able to step up and deliver services our students and families needed.
I work for the Executive Leadership Council, where we advocate for Black executives at the CEO, C-suite, and board director levels in corporate America. So knowing that every day, in some way, I'm contributing to building a legacy of leadership in the Black community, one that will impact my children and their children, is both uplifting and extremely rewarding.
The most rewarding part for me is knowing that people I will never meet can get around and do what's meaningful to them because of work that we've done here at Johns Hopkins.
Hi, I'm Natalie Drazen, a graduate of the Carey Business School, Krieger School of Arts and Sciences, and the Bloomberg School of Public Health, and a member of the Alumni Council. As a 2020 Outstanding Recent Graduate Awardee, it is my pleasure and honor to present this year's 13 Outstanding Recent Graduate Awards honoring alumni who have received their Hopkins degree in the last 10 years and demonstrated outstanding achievement or service in their professional or volunteer life. Alejandro Diaz-Granados is an educator who empowers his students to become agents of change. A 4th and 5th grade English and social studies teacher at Eichen Elementary School in Washington, D.C., he was named the 2021 D.C. Teacher of the Year by Mayor Muriel Bowser. He received the 2021 Sanford Teacher Award, recognizing him for going above and beyond for his students, using his own story as inspiration to show them that they can succeed. Alyssa Dittmar, Elise Hobe, Aaron Sue, and Inez Lam designed ClearMask, the world's first FDA-cleared and CE-marked transparent surgical mask. ClearMask is an equitable, accessible, and safe alternative to traditional masks that improve human connection while providing assured protection. In a 2021 JAMA surgery study, 100% of patients preferred ClearMask over traditional masks, and providers using ClearMask were perceived as more trustworthy, more empathetic, and as better communicators. Since April 2020, over 18 million ClearMasks have sold worldwide. Elizabeth Galbut has been recognized as a 30 under 30 in venture capital by Forbes in 2018 for starting an A-level capital while a student at Carey. She developed the Hopkins student-led venture capital group into 2 successful venture capital funds supporting companies that have a JHU founder. Elizabeth also founded the first female-founded venture capital firm in Los Angeles, SoGal Ventures. Their first fund raised $15 million. She and SoGal Ventures have been featured in multiple publications. Timian Godfrey is the first Native American graduate from the Doctor of Nursing Practice executive program at Johns Hopkins. She simultaneously received her Public Health Training Certificate for American Indian Health, a Jonas Veterans Healthcare Scholar, and a Nurse Leader Executive Mentorship Awardee. She's on faculty at the University of Arizona School of Nursing, where she is making a significant impact on the health of Indigenous people. Brandon Johnson is a tireless advocate for positive mental health and suicide prevention services for youth and serves as a public health advisor at the Substance Abuse Mental Health Services Administration at the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. A subject matter expert within the Agency on Suicide among Black people, Brandon created the Black Mental Wellness Lounge, a YouTube channel dedicated to discussing Black mental health and healing. Vikram Krishnasamy is a CDC medical officer working to address America's drug overdose crisis. His work has involved collaborating with law enforcement and public health practitioners to assist patients on opioid therapy affected by clinic closures. He also developed an online training program for public health partners that gave them tools to understand the overdose epidemic. He continues to provide clinical care in a free clinic in Clarkston, Georgia. Pavula Pear founded her first venture, TCO Labs Incorporated, as a Hopkins freshman, then as a sophomore, The Hatchery, the only undergraduate student incubator offering mentorship, education, and access to resources. In her senior year, Pava created Innovate MD, a nonprofit connecting student entrepreneur leaders at 15 Maryland colleges and universities. Her final student venture, EcoMap Technologies Incorporated, uses automation to digitize ecosystems to easily navigate the people, organizations, businesses, and resources in communities. Ayushi Mishra, a Forbes 30 Under 30 Asia, is a biomedical engineer who started in graduate school her first venture, Marigold Health, a digital health platform with artificial intelligence to scale peer support and therapy. Ayushi moved to India to work on Drone Maps, which specializes in large-scale mapping with drones and extraction of geospatial analytics. Vogue magazine named her one of 8 women in STEM leading the battle against COVID-19 in India. Goki Olubusi is co-founder and CEO of Helium Health, a healthcare technology provider working in several African countries to accelerate the continent's healthcare field transition to a data and technology-driven healthcare system. Helium Health's flagship product is used by over 300 hospitals and serves 165,000 patients per month. More than 250 hospitals signed to gain access to Helium Teleclinic, a platform that enables brick-and-mortar hospitals to conduct televisits. Caitlin Sattler is an Earl Statman investigator and chief of the section of immunoengineering at the National Institutes of Health. Awarded for her work on immunology and tissue engineering, she has shown a critical role for Th2 T cells in biomaterial-mediated muscle regeneration. Since starting her laboratory at NIH, Dr. Sattler has shared her lab's expertise in the fight against COVID-19.
Yeah, my education at Johns Hopkins helped me approach the field of education from a completely different perspective. I was challenged by not only the coursework, but the professors who dared us to think beyond our assignments in order to make changes that affect the real world. And I would also say that my education at Johns Hopkins not only provided me with the knowledge and research skills to apply my learning, but also the confidence to lead a variety of research-based initiatives in my own community.
An education at Hopkins provided me the opportunity to cultivate a professional, academic, and cultural identity that allowed me the moral courage to fight for health equity for historically marginalized populations.
Hopkins has helped me to understand the public health side of mental health and to be able to give communities the resources to address their own mental health needs, particularly the mental health needs of those in the Black community.
The most impactful part of my Hopkins education was how many opportunities there were for hands-on learning. Whether that was starting a new student club or launching a nonprofit or helping teach a class, there were so many opportunities for me to actually apply what I was learning in the classroom out in the real world, which has been immensely helpful in my entrepreneurial journey.
Hopkins has helped me to find my co-founders. This is where I found both co-founders for both my companies. It's definitely a strong network effect. In fact, my first education in entrepreneurship is here, emerging tech. And my strength has been working across multiple disciplines. So Hopkins has really helped me explore that side and provided the environment for it. I've always said that if I were a porcupine, Hopkins has made me comfortable with the spikes.
Hi, my name is Adegoke Olubusi, and I'm the CEO of Helium Health. Johns Hopkins provided me with an environment that took my interests in science, innovation, and entrepreneurship to a whole new level. I had the best teachers who are some of the smartest people in the world. We had state-of-the-art infrastructure, and it helped to solidify my desire to build healthcare's digital infrastructure across emerging markets. I'm incredibly grateful to have come to Johns Hopkins. I loved every moment of it. Thank you.
The CMM PhD program, my thesis advisor, Dr. Alicia, prepared me for the struggle of near constant small failures. Experiments not working, papers being rejected, a freezer losing power over the weekend. Knowing it's the long game for us, we build our successes over years and sometimes have a really good day.
Hi, I'm Dr. Rhonda Glover-Reese, a graduate of the School of Education and a member of the Alumni Council. I retired from the FBI after 34 years of law enforcement service. Today, I serve as a certified career coach and mentor for law enforcement personnel and individuals interested in a career in law enforcement. I had the distinct honor of receiving the Public Service Award in 2018. It is my privilege to present the 2021 recipients of the Heritage Award. The Heritage Award honors alumni or friends of Johns Hopkins who have contributed outstanding service over an extended period to the advancement of the university or the activities of the association. This year, the association has recognized 8 such individuals. Jane Ball is serving her second term as president of the Johns Hopkins Nurses Alumni Association and has been a board member since 2014. A leader and consistent supporter of the School of Nursing since 1990, she was a pediatric nurse practitioner who most recently served as vice president for nursing and content development for Triage, a mobile app for physicians and nurses to guide the care of injured children. Donald Kerr has been an active Hopkins volunteer for many years. His recent memberships include the Humanities Advisory Council, the Krieger School Dean's Advisory Board, the Center for Financial Economics, and his class reunion committee. Don cares deeply that Hopkins promotes ideological diversity and freedom of expression. He has contributed generously in support of undergraduate financial aid and volunteers to inspire fellow alumni to give back. Carl Liggio, the co-founder and managing partner for Faroes Enterprise Intelligence, a company focused on the commercial management of power plants, has been an active volunteer at every level. He has served on the Civil Engineering Advisory Committee, was president of the Society of Engineering Alumni Council, served on the Hopkins Engineering Alumni Leadership Committee, the Alumni Council Executive Committee, and the Blue Jays Unlimited Board. Brian McMillan, an avid supporter of Hopkins, has donated every year for nearly 20 years. An active volunteer, he served as secretary and chaired several subcommittees for the Alumni Council and was chair of the Cary Business School's Dean's Alumni Advisory Board. He was one of the first alumni to join Cary's New Business Leadership Society and joined the inaugural Next Mentorship Program as a mentor for a full-time MBA student. Gail Ox has been a steadfast and fierce supporter of the Johns Hopkins School of Nursing since 1984, and together with her husband, Peter, established the Gail Geiger Ox and Peter Ox, PhD, Global Scholarship Fund. She supports the class of 1965 endowed scholarship, and they have supported both the original Johns Hopkins School of Nursing building as well as the building's most recent renovation. Thomas Pearson is an international leader in public health research and cardiovascular disease prevention, whose long relationship with Hopkins has encompassed 4 degrees, 2 residencies, investments of time and resources, and induction into the Johns Hopkins Society of Scholars. Awarded the American Heart Association Prevention Mentoring Award in 2019, Dr. Pearson shows his passion for investing in students across the schools of medicine and public health. Linda Yao has worked tirelessly with the Alumni Association to organize the medical class of '94 25th reunion, personally contacting each classmate about returning and donating funds for an endowment. She helped coordinate the speakers, the dinner, and an extensive slideshow commemorating her class. Having completed the Osler Medicine residency, she embodies all of the traits of an Osler Marine: reliability, trustworthiness, honesty, and caring about Hopkins and its graduates. Mary Zappone is the CEO and board director for Brace Industrial, a leading provider of industrial construction services and advisory board member for the Department of Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering. She has been active in her class's 25th and 30th reunion committee and is gift chair for her 35th. In addition, she taught in the Financial Literacy Intercession course, was active in the Society of Engineering Alumni, and volunteered for the Johns Hopkins Houston Alumni Chapter.
As a nurse and public health professional, witnessing how the Johns Hopkins School of Nursing has committed to assuring that its graduates have strong leadership skills and critical thinking for significant acute care and community-based issues has been most rewarding. And I've also enjoyed mentoring several nursing students.
I think my most satisfying work has been mobilizing financial aid resources for undergraduates. This is a continuing priority given how fierce the competition is among the top universities for the top talent. I was fortunate enough to get a free ride from Hopkins, so this seems a fitting legacy.
What is most rewarding is watching my students and mentees get interested in the industry, then successfully land jobs and internships, and then thrive and come back to help the next crop of students.
It's hard to distill down the most gratifying experiences or rewarding experiences at Hopkins to just one or two, but what quickly comes to mind has been the ability to work directly with students and see an impact of our involvement either through philanthropy or through mentoring. I've had the opportunity to have really amazing mentors along my career and want to ensure that our students have the same opportunity.
It's given me joy to support a world-class nursing program like at Johns Hopkins, and to be able to challenge others to give, like setting up the scholarship fund for the class of 1965.
I am deeply honored by the receipt of this, the Heritage Award, and my comments really entail what I think has been a privilege for me to have participated both in College of Medicine and College of Public Health, School of Public Health. I thought that my firm understanding of both these fields really provided opportunities for me to contribute to things that I thought were very important.
I have loved serving as the class representative for the fabulous Hopkins School of Medicine class of 1994. Because of the brainstorming at the 25th reunion dinner, I was able to chair the effort of the class of 1994 scholarship, where we raised just over $100,000 in 18 months. It has been so rewarding to give back to our alma mater, where we started our medical careers. We are all looking forward to meeting the future scholarship students.
What's been really rewarding is just seeing what the school has been able to offer across the board. I've enjoyed being part of the intercession courses on debt capital financing, but also seeing the continued offerings in the chemical and bioengineering department, where I'm on the advisory board. It has been very rewarding.
Thank you, Rhonda. It is wonderful to see some of our strongest supporters of the Alumni Association. Now I am pleased to introduce the interlude featuring our student performers. Each year, the Alumni Council Student Grants Committee awards funds to more than 75 student groups across the university. And we would like to highlight one of them for your enjoyment this evening. Please welcome the Octopodes, an a cappella group of 13 students who will perform Distance by Yeba.
Take me back to the distance. Late night cooking in the kitchen. Yeah, yeah. Dirty dancing in my room. Sending my love all over you. Because of the time we shared, time we lost in love with one another. Days we had, pay the cost of losing. Let's desire so soon. I'll be sending my love all over you. And I still get so lost in the feeling, and I can't imagine losing you. Oh, if you could find a new reason for someone special to hold on to, I wonder if I would do, yeah. Because of the time we shared, time we lost in love with one another. Days we had, pay the cost of losing. Let's desire so soon. I'll be sending my love all over you. Take me back to the distance. Oh yeah, babe. Late night cooking in the kitchen. Dirty dancing in my room. I love the things you do, and I'm sending all of my love to I'll be sending all my love. You're the only one that I've been dreaming of. It's true. I'll be sending all my I'll be sending all Take me back to the distance. Take me back to.
Wow, what a wonderful performance. It's so great to see that our students are still connecting and making music throughout this challenging time. Hi, I'm Daniela Kayest, a graduate of the School of Advanced International Studies and the Krieger School of Arts and Sciences, and a member of the Awards and Nomination Committee of the Alumni Council. It is a pleasure to introduce the Global Achievement Award, which honors alumni who exemplify the Johns Hopkins tradition of excellence and have brought credit to the university and their profession in the international arena through their professional achievement or humanitarian service. This year, the Alumni Association awarded 5. Annabelle Illen graduated from Johns Hopkins School of Nursing, where she interfaced with international patients, doctors, and nurses. Adopting a baby from India, she founded Illen Adoptions International, Inc., which has placed more than 2,500 children from countries around the world into permanent U.S. homes. In 2020, she opened Foundation for Our Children, Inc., whose mission is to promote the physical, emotional, and mental health, education, and welfare of vulnerable children. Anne Remoyne. Anne Remoyne is one of the world's preeminent experts on global epidemiology and emerging infectious diseases, currently leading studies of COVID-19 and vaccine hesitancy in health workers and first responders. Her pioneering research in Central Africa has led to fundamental understandings of the human monkeypox virus, Ebola, and yielded important discoveries, including the identification of new pathogens in populations at the animal-human interface. She is a leading voice on the COVID-19 pandemic. Denise Rollins is a retired senior U.S. Foreign Service officer with more than 35 years of expertise leading and managing large, diverse teams and implementing high-profile and complex initiatives in developing countries. She was acting assistant administrator for USAID's Asia Bureau, overseeing economic development programs in 32 countries. She also served as the mission director of USAID Bangladesh's $1 billion 5-year development program and as deputy mission director of USAID South Africa. Karen Schneider is a pediatrician and assistant professor at Johns Hopkins Hospital, where she teaches and focuses her practice on pediatric medicine in developing countries through a tropical medicine elective. A Sister of Mercy for 38 years, Karen has received 6 honorary doctorates for her international medical work in the service of children and the Johns Hopkins Martin Luther King Award. Keenan Wyrobeck created Zipline, a medical product delivery company that designs, manufactures, and operates delivery drones. With a solid presence in Rwanda, Zipline began expansion into Ghana, with future plans into Africa and Latin America. In April 2020, Zipline began to move COVID-19 test samples, and in May partnered with Novant Health in North Carolina on long-distance deliveries of PPE and critical medical supplies to frontline workers.
My education and training at the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health is the foundation upon which my global health career has been built.
The time I spent at Johns Hopkins at SAIS was critically important to my career development. I really gained a much better appreciation and perspective on how the global economy is comprised and the role of individual countries that contribute to that.
In 2008, I received a MPH from the School of Public Health. Since that time, I've created this organization to actually help poor children in low and middle income countries. I bring with me residents from Johns Hopkins who are in training. They get to see diseases, conditions, medical systems that do not exist in the United States.
The power of my Hopkins experience was learning to focus on the people before the technology. Focus on the users, the patients, the doctors who are actually going to use the technology you developed, because doing that makes sure the technology you develop will actually be useful.
Hi, I'm Rich Bannerman, a 2-degree graduate of the School of Nursing and a past member of the Alumni Council. I had the distinct honor of receiving the Distinguished Alumnus Award in 2020, and it is my pleasure to present the Public Service Awards, which honor alumni of Johns Hopkins who have brought credit to the university by their current or recently concluded distinguished service to the public as elected or appointed official. This year, the Alumni Association awarded 2. Ruby Harvey recently retired as an Executive Director, Office of Small and Disadvantaged Business Utilization. There she was responsible for programs that promote small business participation in VA procurements, with special emphasis on service-disabled, veteran-owned, and veteran-owned small businesses. During her government tenure, Ruby accomplished several initiatives and was the 2018 recipient of the first annual Excellence in Innovation and Competitiveness Award from the White House Initiative on HBCUS. Dennis Lockhart is the former president and CEO of the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta. In that capacity, he served on the Fed's Federal Open Market Committee. His tenure spanned the financial crisis, the Great Recession, and several years of recovery. He is currently Distinguished Professor of the Practice in the Nunn School of International Affairs at Georgia Tech. He also sits on several for-profit and non-profit boards.
I am immensely proud of the fact that I get to give service to America's citizens in delivering programs that benefit them, and I also get to lead other public servants to deliver quality services to our citizens.
Since SICE, I always had in my mind a period in my career of doing public service. I felt that public service was my highest calling in my career. And on a personal level, I feel I honored the institution I was working for and preserved its dignity and its credibility with the public and made a contribution in the policy process. So I'm proud of that.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ralph Ruban, a graduate of the School of Medicine, divisional representative for the Alumni Council, and past president of the Johns Hopkins Medical and Surgical Association. I currently direct the Saul Goldman Pancreatic Cancer Research Center and the Department of Pathology here at the Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine. It is my pleasure to present the Distinguished Alumna Awards, which honor alumni who have typified the Johns Hopkins tradition of excellence and brought credit to the university by their personal accomplishments, professional achievement, or humanitarian service. This year, the Alumni Association awarded 18 awards, and it is my pleasure to introduce the first 9. Daniel Ahn serves as Deputy Chief and Federal Prosecutor at the United States Department of Justice. Daniel trains new prosecutors and personally prosecutes a wide array of complex criminal matters, from public corruption and healthcare fraud to tax evasion and transnational organized crime. Daniel has an unassailable reputation for integrity and is widely respected by both bench and bar. A committed advocate and partner of Native American communities, Allison Barlow is director of the Center for American Indian Health in the Department of International Health at the Bloomberg School of Public Health. She works with tribal communities to develop public health interventions that promote health equity, from providing services to address COVID-19 to preventing youth suicide and substance use, to creating the Family Spirit Early Childhood Home Visiting Program. Janice Bowie is a nationally recognized expert in health disparities and community-based research methods. Her collaborative research across Hopkins and the Baltimore community explores approaches that actively engage community partners to improve the health and well-being of their communities. One partnership has examined the unique association of spirituality and health in prevention and in treatment decision-making. A Bloomberg Centennial Professor, she directs the Doctor of Public Health degree program. Renowned chemist, professor, and Burke Group founder, Dr. Marty Burke, is pioneering the field of molecular prosthetics, small molecules that mimic the functions of deficient proteins that underlie a wide range of human diseases, including cystic fibrosis and anemia. He is also the founder of 4 biotechnology companies, Revolution Medicines, Ambis Medicines, Sfunga Therapeutics, and Systemic Medicines. And he led a program called SHIELD for mitigating SARS-CoV-2 transmission via rapid result COVID-19 saliva tests. Gary Darmstadt, Associate Dean for Maternal and Child Health and Professor of Neonatal and Developmental Medicine at the Stanford University School of Medicine, recently led the steering committee for the Lancet series on gender equality, norms, and health. He was a senior fellow in the Global Development Program at the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, where he catalyzed gender equality programs, including the establishment of grand challenges on putting women and girls at the center of development. A true nursing leader, Jason Farley has consistently represented the nursing profession, Johns Hopkins University, and the School of Nursing in congressional hearings and in the media during the COVID-19 pandemic. He is the director and founder of the REACH Institute, which leads evidence-based prevention, care, and support for those at risk for or living with HIV in Maryland. And he holds the inaugural Leadership and Innovation Endowed Chair at the School of Nursing. Brian Garibaldi is an Associate Professor of Medicine, Physiology, and Health Sciences Informatics in the Division of Pulmonary and Critical Care Medicine. He is Medical Director of the Johns Hopkins Biocontainment Unit, which was one of the first units to care for COVID-19 patients in Maryland. He also directs the COVID-19 Precision Medicine Center of Excellence, which is dedicated to understanding the pathobiology of COVID-19 and the impact of therapeutics on disease outcome. William Kaling has been a Howard Hughes Medical Institute investigator since 1998 and is the Sidney Farber Professor of Medicine in the Department of Medicine at the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute and the Brigham and Women's Hospital, Harvard Medical School. In 2019, he received the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine, together with Sir Peter Ratcliffe and Greg Zemenza, for his work on how cells sense oxygen. Tom Koenig, who recently retired, was an assistant professor of psychiatry and behavioral sciences at the Johns Hopkins School of Medicine and the associate dean for student affairs. An outstanding clinical teacher, Tom advised nearly 2,000 medical students over 16 years with a compassionate, thoughtful, and gentle approach, helping his students navigate medical school and professional life. He has been a dedicated clinician in the Johns Hopkins Community Psychiatry Program's Hispanic Clinic.
Hi, I'm Joe Yoon, a graduate of the Krieger School of Arts and Sciences and co-chair of the Alumni Council's Building Diverse Leadership Committee. I'm originally from Lexington, Massachusetts, but my time at Hopkins has firmly planted me in the DC region, where I'm a financial planner working with individuals and retirement plans. It is my pleasure to introduce the remaining 9 Distinguished Alumni awardees. Wu Chang John Lee is the Director of the Department of Medical Affairs and Planning at the Taipei Veterans General Hospital in Taiwan. Through efforts to combat the COVID-19 pandemic in Taiwan, he appreciated how critical masks were to keeping healthcare providers and others safe. When he discovered that Hopkins was experiencing shortages, he worked with several Taiwanese donors to coordinate the manufacture, purchase, and shipment of 100,000 face masks to Baltimore. Lisa Maragakis is an associate professor of medicine and epidemiology at the Johns Hopkins School of Medicine and the Bloomberg School of Public Health, the senior director of infection prevention for the Johns Hopkins Health System, and Executive Director of the Biocontaminant Unit and Incident Commander for the Johns Hopkins Medicine COVID-19 response. Her research interests are the epidemiology, prevention, and control of healthcare-acquired infections. Mario Molina is a healthcare entrepreneur, endocrinologist, and philanthropist, and is best known for his 20-plus year tenure as Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of Molina Healthcare, a Fortune 200 company that he and his family founded in the 1980s. He's currently Chairman of the Board at the United States of Care and an adjunct professor in the School of Global and Community Health at Claremont Graduate University. Jennifer Nuzzo is an epidemiologist and researcher lending her experience to the forefront of the COVID-19 pandemic response. She's a senior scholar at the Center for Health Security at the Bloomberg School of Public Health, a senior fellow for the Global Health at the Council on Foreign Relations, and director of the Outbreak Observatory, which conducts operational research to improve outbreak preparedness and response in partnership with Frontline Public Health. Payal Patel is an infectious diseases physician with the Veterans Affairs Healthcare System, an assistant professor at the University of Michigan, and member of the University of Michigan's Institute for Healthcare Policy and Innovation. An author of 60-plus research publications, Dr. Patel's training and research experience put her in the forefront of COVID-19 response efforts. She's a sought-after medical correspondent, having appeared on NBC Nightly News, BBC World News, and NPR. Raymond Reed, the first Navajo alumnus of Johns Hopkins and one of the first Native American physicians trained in public health, applied his knowledge to life-saving work with Native American populations for 40 years. Working and living on both the White Mountain Apache and Navajo reservations since 1983, he has made outstanding contributions to the health of Native populations globally. He co-founded the Center for American Indian Health's training program. Susan Shuren spent more than 28 years at Case Western Reserve University, Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital in Cleveland, mostly as divisional chief and professor. She joined the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute at NIH in 2006, spending 6.5 years as deputy director and 3 years as acting director of NHLBI, and built a global health program. Ted Sniffen is a Fortune 500 business leader who had led strategy, market development, and delivery of portfolios up to $300 million in annual revenue for U.S. defense and civil agency clients. Formerly an executive of Booz Allen Hamilton, he was recognized with the 2018 Washington 100 Award as one of the most influential and impactful executives of consequence at the intersection of government and industry. Alan Wang is the global technical lead at Ethicon Biosurgery, a medical device subsidiary of Johnson & Johnson. He holds more than 70 patents and has developed several innovative surgical products to save countless lives. His most recent medical device, Class 3 invention, surgical powder absorbable hemostat, has been widely adopted by surgeons to serve numerous patients in more than 40 countries since its launch in late 2017.
I am most proud to be an alum of the Johns Hopkins School of Public Health, to share in an ethos of humility, to be guided by pragmatism, and to have a common mantra to leave this world better than we found it.
I've had tremendous opportunities and privileges to collaborate with so many wonderful colleagues, and most importantly, to reproduce students who are at the forefront of advancing health equity and eliminating health disparities.
Thank you so much. I am most proud of the power of JHU to revolutionize students' perception of what is possible at the interface of science and medicine, just like it did for me.
My time at Johns Hopkins profoundly shaped and changed my thinking, my capabilities, my relationships with people in the field, and my opportunities for a lifetime. I'm really proud of the collaborative multidisciplinary team that we built and the research that we conducted throughout Asia, also in Africa, examining ways to improve survival of newborns through empowering families and community health workers.
As a two-time alum of the Hopkins School of Nursing, I feel like I've been well prepared to go out and change the world. That begins locally here in the Baltimore community, where we serve patients at risk or living with a variety of infectious diseases. I'm most proud, however, to call Baltimore both my educational and professional home, serving as a faculty and now an endowed professor.
I'm incredibly proud of the way the Hopkins community has stepped up in our response to COVID-19. From the people on the front lines who've been providing care around the clock to patients with COVID and other patients who need care during these difficult times, to the incredible pace of scientific research that has added to our knowledge about the pathobiology of COVID, but also the way that we can treat these patients better, to the premier role that Hopkins has played in providing actionable and accurate information so that people can make informed decisions about their own response to COVID-19. It has truly been an honor and a privilege to be part of that response and to be part of the Hopkins community.
I'm thinking back to July 1, 1983, when I walked into the Johns Hopkins Hospital for the first time, entering on the Broadway Street entrance. And I remember being both excited, but frankly a little bit terrified. I think my heart rate was about 130. But I knew immediately that no matter what else I did in my medical career, that no one would ever be able to take away from me the fact that I had trained at Johns Hopkins. So this award is especially meaningful to me. Thank you so much for this recognition. I wish I could be there in person with you.
In addition to being able to practice psychiatry at one of the top medical centers in the entire world, I've also had the great good fortune of working with medical students at Hopkins, both as a clerkship director and as a student affairs dean. And I have absolutely no doubts that they will make the future of medicine even brighter than it has been for all of us. Thanks again, and please stay well.
The trainings from Johns Hopkins opens a window for me from a public health perspective. It drives me to engage in challenging situations bravely, solve them systemically and scientifically, and network with international alumni resources. I'm very proud to be a member of Hopkins' big family.
It's truly a privilege to be even a small part of the Johns Hopkins University's amazing history and extraordinary story of scientific discovery, clinical care, teaching, and service to our community and to the world. Thank you so much.
I think former Dean Tommy Turner summed it up best when he said the thing that makes Hopkins so special is a heritage of excellence, a heritage that began with Osler, Kelly, Welch, and Halstead, and extends down to the present day in terms of teaching, research, and patient care. For example, during the recent coronavirus pandemic, Hopkins was the trusted source for information about coronavirus. So for these reasons, I'm very pleased to accept this award, proud to be part of Johns Hopkins and to support the mission.
COVID-19 pandemic has been so hard on everyone, but the Johns Hopkins community really is a leader in stepping up, applying its knowledge and know-how to try to alleviate some of the human suffering that we've seen. I'm so proud to be a part of this community that has contributed so much.
At Hopkins, I learned how to be inquisitive, think outside of the box, and pursue my passions. I use those skills every day as an infectious diseases physician and researcher.
The reason why I really am glad that I entered Johns Hopkins was because compared to a lot of other schools and students that graduate from there, the Johns Hopkins was different in the fact that right after I graduated, I began to run into situations that I was a whole lot more prepared after graduating from Johns Hopkins.
Hopkins prepared me for a career enriched by a passion for discovery, wonderful models of leadership, and close relationships with patients and families. Hopkins offered inspiring examples of creative scientific curiosity and true caring for patients and for colleagues.
Simply put, the thing that I'm proudest about being a Hopkins alum is what the Carey School of Business has become. I applied to what was a startup program more than a quarter century ago. Today, I probably couldn't get in, and I'm proud of that. The stature, the brand, the global reach, It's stunning what the graduate business program has evolved into, and I'm immensely proud of that.
I graduated from Johns Hopkins feeling privileged for having received such incredible education to make where I am now, with the spirit of Blue Jay, being intelligent, assertive, and determined, which have been brought into all the medical device product development I've been ever involved in. There's no such thing as good enough. It has to be the best. We have the power to make a difference. Thank you much, Hopkins.
Thank you, Joe, and all the presenters for introducing us to this amazing and accomplished group of alumni. Now, joining me is Anika Penn, President of the Alumni Association, a graduate of the School of Advanced International Studies. Anika has been an especially devoted leader during the pandemic, navigating our alumni engagement through the virtual world, and I have so enjoyed partnering with her. I'm glad you could join us, Anika.
Thank you, Susan. I marvel at these individuals year after year who are a wonderful representation of everything Johns Hopkins stands for.
Yes, the achievements of all of our alumni and the many who have risen to the occasion during the pandemic make us so proud.
Yeah, Hopkins has so many icons in medicine and public health, whether it's the hospital workers, researchers, first responders, or essential workers. They have prevailed during the pandemic, not to mention the community leaders who have lifted up their local communities when it's really been needed the most.
And the remarkable recent graduates who have the backing of a Hopkins education to go out and impact the world immediately.
And our international alumni who broaden the reach of Hopkins across the globe, from the Native American nations to Taiwan, to Haiti, to Central Africa and beyond.
We thank the awardees for all they have done for their communities, locally, nationally, internationally, and across the Johns Hopkins University.
Thank you for joining us in our second virtual awards celebration. And congratulations again to the 2021 awardees.